Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda. I was looking at some money recently, to be precise, euro coins and euro notes. Now, I don't know if you've looked very closely at your money recently, probably not. But you know, when you're looking at the euro coins that we carry in our pockets, I mean, euro only came in 2002. Well, it had been operating for about 3 years before that for electronic transactions. But in terms of actually having euro cash in your hands, it came in 2002. And I remember when it came in, I remember going to my local post office and there was this little kid trying to buy a Mars bar with a 500 euro note, and the shopkeeper was terrified of getting stuck with a fake note, and in the end just said to, and given a whole load of change, and in the end just said to the kid, "Here, have the Mars bar for free." And I thought to myself, I wonder how many shops he's done that at today. But you know, when I look closely at it, I mean, the coins, they all look the same on one side, but then the other side, I just pulled a few coins out of my pocket here, and I've got coins here from France. That's Spain. I got Irish ones as well. Some guy on a horse there. I have no idea what country that's from. But we've got used to that. We've got used to money that comes from all these different countries in Europe. But when you look at the notes, the notes have bridges on all the banknotes. For example, there's the 20 euro note has the bridge on it. But when you look at them, they're not very impressive bridges. They're very anonymous bridges, very generic bridges. And yet there's all these amazing bridges across Europe that they could have featured on the banknotes. I think of the Ponte Vecchio in Florence. It's an amazing bridge. Or Charles Bridge in Prague is incredible. The Rialto Bridge in Venice, or the Pont Neuf in Paris, or even our own Halfpenny Bridge in Dublin. So why didn't they put these very well-known, iconic bridges on the banknotes? Why have these anonymous looking ones? And apparently it comes down to this, that the artist Robert Kalina from Austria, when he first wanted to do these banknotes, he wanted to put the famous bridges and well-known bridges on it. But there was a problem, and there was only going to be 7 banknotes, and the officials in the European Bank were afraid that the people who didn't have a banknote from their a bridge from their country featured on the banknotes would get offended if they featured bridges from other countries. So they said, let's just make imaginary bridges. So the bridges you see on the back of all the euro banknotes, whether it's 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 500, whatever, all those bridges that you see there are non-existent. They're imaginary bridges to avoid offending anybody. Now, I have to say this, that I would much rather have banknotes that had the proper, beautiful bridges from across Europe on them that we could admire and celebrate. But we've reached this point in society where we're afraid of causing offense. Now, I'm not saying we should deliberately go out and deliberately offend people, just trying to wind people up for the sake of it. That's not what I'm talking about. But the fact is, we are different. It's okay to be different. It's okay for one country to have a nice looking bridge and for another country not to. It's okay to celebrate our distinctives. It's okay for us as Christians to say, you know what, you believe this, but I don't believe that. I believe something different, and we have different standards of right and wrong and what we class as being moral or immoral or whatever else. And we should never be afraid to say who we are and say what we believe in case somebody gets offended because they believe something different. I'm not talking about hate speech. I'm not talking about deliberately trying to attack people or offend people. But we need to be able to be clear about who we are and who we are not, and what we believe and what we don't believe. And it's a shame if we have this exaggerated fear of causing offense that would prevent us from simply celebrating what is good. And I pray that we as Christians will never reach that point. May we not be hateful, may we not be people who just go looking for a fight, but must we be people who will needlessly hide our light under a bushel for the fear of causing offense. God bless you today. Join us again tomorrow for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda.